You know, you damn Edomites are the devil, and there's nothing that you're going to do to change the outcome of your future. I don't care how many ceasefire treaties you come up with. You must be stopped, and our Lord Yahushua is here to bring your rulership to an end, giving all the praise, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahushai, Bahashem, Rakahak Wadash. Double honor to the elders of Great Millstone who told me this truth. A sincere shalom, labakariim, shal yasha, that's peace to the hopeful elect of the nation of Israel. Now, what people are not paying attention to, I guess the media going to draw your attention this way, maybe towards the end of the week, is what's happening with Pakistan and India, man. You know, Pakistan and India both have nuclear weapons. Those are nuclear superpowers. They're in the back, you know, but they are nuclear powered. And now it's on the table to where they're saying they may be using it on each other. And Pakistan is an ally to China, which means they're an ally to Russia. And you know India is an ally supposedly to America, but they also got ties to the BRICS. So you see how this thing is confusing? If you don't know what's going on at the top, the tippity top, which is the elect Edomites, the elites that's running and controlling everything. You know, now I'm going to play this report here. Now, what's interesting about this, you know, when you go into the origin on how India, as well as Pakistan, was set up, you know, you had the small hats behind this coming out of Britain. And Britain is the mother of the United States of America. You know, Britain founded and birthed America. That's why I tell you in Jeremiah 51, it tell you that their mother shall be ashamed of her. Let me see. Let me pull this real quick. So you got a lot that's happening on planet Earth. And this is about to come out. You know, now they may be using this for a distraction, but you're going to hear more about this Pakistani and Indian confusion that's about to happen. Okay, this is Slovakia mother. Let me just type it in. Mother ashamed. Mother ashamed. Okay, this is Jeremiah 50, verse 12. It says, your mother, this is, when you go into this chapter, this is going into the daughter of Babylon, you know, which is America. Because America is the daughter of Babylon. In a sense, they follow the same guidelines as ancient Babylon, you know. What makes it great Babylon because of the technology when you go to Revelations, the 18th chapter. But America was birthed, you know, that eighth horn that came from the midst of the seven, you know. Daniel 7 tell you about that little horn that plucked up the three. The three was Britain, France, and Spain. You know, America was that little horn that grew and took over. But it was birthed, you know, it had a mother that it had to answer to. And it still answers to Britain. So it says, your mother shall be sore confounded. She shall bear you. She that bear you shall be ashamed. Behold, the hindermost of the nations shall be a wilderness, a dry land, and a desert. So that mother, which is Britain, and Britain is the headquarters of the elites, which are the small hats. When you go into the DuPonts, the Rothschilds, the Rockefellers, the Gettys, I mean, the cream of the crop. You know, those castles over there, you know, they rule that. They rule planet Earth, you know, from out of Great Britain. Okay? And when you hear Great Britain have their hand in conflicts like this, you best believe they use their muscle, which is the United States of America. And their witchcraft comes out of the Vatican. And the beast, which is the 7 heads and 10 horns, which is NATO and the EU, they're like the think tank of the whole system. That's the whole Edomite system in a nutshell, But they're going to be behind, India and Pakistan pulling out those nuclear weapons too, because we're in a very sensitive time where the Lord is bringing all these nations down. The Lord's determination, hold on, let me get this, is to gather the nations, for what? For the final war. In India, Pakistan, you're not exempt from this. So we see a gathering of you nations. What is this? Is it Zechariah 3:8? Yes. This says, Zechariah 3:8, therefore wait ye upon me, saith Yahweh, until the day that I raise up to the prey. And that's what the Lord is doing right now. That's why you're hearing war. You're hearing war and rumors of war within the earth. For my determination, this is the Lord's determination, is to gather the nations, that I may assemble the kingdoms, which are all these countries, all these nuclear power countries, to pour upon them my indignation, even all my fierce anger. For all the earth shall be devoured with the fire of my jealousy. And that's from the east to the west. So you got all the top players are in the game right now. And things are happening.
Where this could go. First off, let's start off with the things that we absolutely know. Pakistan has 170 nuclear weapons. Now, these are fitted on, I don't know how many intercontinental ballistic missiles they have, if any, because mostly they have nuclear weapons to use against India. And India has nuclear weapons to use against Pakistan. And I think the base case is to see Pakistan and India get into a snowball fight, and it would probably not mean any nuclear weapons coming to the United States. Like I said, at least initially. Now, why would they start using nuclear weapons? Well, this is the situation. Pakistan and India have a very, very bad relationship. When they were broken up by the UK, as the British government nuclear weapons coming to the United States. Like I said, at least initially. Now, why would they start using nuclear weapons? Well, this is the situation. Pakistan and India have a very, very bad relationship. When they were broken up by the UK, as the British government was giving independence to Pakistan.
So you see who's behind this, you damn Edomites. And you don't only do this, you did this with Korea. That's how North Korea, South Korea came about. You went into Japan after you dropped the bomb. You separated Japan. You've done this to China. You've done this to the Americas. Divide and conquer is your strategy. No, but what you're going to find out is what the devil has been doing, these damn Edomites, they'll fund both sides. So they funded these elites, Britain funded Pakistan and they funded India. Then they gave them their democracy and gave them a voting system. And that's the kings of the earth drinking from the cup of a whore, which is part of the abomination, because we know there's no such thing as a democracy. That's just a delusion. This is Job 9, verse 24. It says, the earth, the whole entire earth, this is something where you have the smarts and the know-how as well as the wealth and the desire that people want to gravitate to you. To be a ruler, you got to have a spark about you. So when the Lord was putting Edomites back together, there was a certain light, a certain glow around Esau. Everything they touched was turning into gold. You can't lose. That's how the Lord draws nations to you. So now you're losing that touch, and that touch is coming to us, the Israelites now. Okay? But this is how the Lord designed it, rulership. As one nation is falling, the other nation is rising. That's how all nations gravitated to you. Okay, which puts you in a position to have the earth is given into the hand of the wicked. So you have planet Earth, so you can go into whoever's territory, millions of people, billions of people, and woo them and awe them and get them to move at your will. And also give them gifts, because the power is in your hand. Because the earth is given to the hand of the wicked. He covered the faces of the judges thereof. If not, where is? Who and where is? And we know about iconoclasm. We know about the Renaissance. This man has done this. But this is a lot of power. And as we're going to look further into the video, you can see Esau got his hands in everything. But everything is coming out, you know. And this is Micah 2, verse 1. Woe to them that devise iniquity and work evil upon their beds. You got people thinking about evil all the time in bed, but they don't have the power to get up in the morning to accomplish it. And when I mean accomplish it, what they did with that whole Hiroshima and Nagasaki in World War II, which was prophecy, dropping a bomb on over 200,000 that were destroyed, they got away with those are war crimes. You could be brought to the International Criminal Court for that. They got away with it. They were actually praised. You get a madman out here, he go into a supermarket, he shoot up a Walmart, he's the devil of the earth. But they have just made a movie about this, the Oppenheimers. How many documentaries and movies they got out about Hiroshima, and nobody has been put into prison for war crimes? None of them scientists, none of their families. Nobody paid, reparations to China. I mean, nothing. They just got away with it. Look at slavery. That's how you know who got the power. Because when they move big, like the scriptures say. Woe to them that devise iniquity and work evil upon their beds. When the morning is light, they practice it, because it is in the power of their hand. And when you go into that word power, this ain't ordinary power. You ain't dropping no nuclear weapon from on no plane and then going back to bed and nothing happening to you in the morning. That's how you know this man is in charge. He brings other nations to criminal court for doing something like that. But when you go into this same scripture, you go into this word power, this is the type of power he has. God-like power. Because look at the word for that. Allah, which goes into God. God-like one. Mighty men. Men of rank. Mighty heroes. Angels. They have God-like power. God, one of the true gods. Mighty things, strength, power. So just like our Lord tell you in Luke, he gives us power to tread over the power of the enemy, because the enemy has God-like power. So the Lord's going to have to give God-like power to his men, because these men are coming strong. So as you can see, the earth is given to the hands of the wicked. So everybody is about to go through it, because you decided to lay down in bed with the whore. Now they say you got to go at it. You got to fight. And we're gonna see what's going to come out of this.
Being forced to do so, they basically had some areas where they were kind of Muslim, and they're like, well, what should we do with these areas? India was like, well, you should ask the local leaders, and the local leaders should get to decide which way they go. Basically, the governors and the warlords of those areas. Pakistan was like, you need to have a vote. They need to be able to have a popular vote as to which country they want to be a part of.
Now you see that?
India,
and this is that division. This is that divide, that conquer, and this is that system. This is that democracy, when it tells you about the image, that people should, worship the image. So they've spread it, in India and Pakistan is part of the UN also. So they down with the beast, they eating. They're eating with the beast, man. But when it tells you about they should worship that image, this is Revelation 13:9. It says, and the kings of the earth who have committed fornication and live deliciously with her, the her is America, the kings of the other nations, shall bewail her and lament for her when they shall see the smoke of her burning. Oh, you know what? Oh, this is the wrong chat, but that's good too. Because they will land, because they lay down in bed, So when it all comes to the end, it's going to hit hard. It says, Two heads. Do a great one. Okay. This is Revelation 13. This is what I wanted. It's Revelation 13:13. And he doeth, speaking about America, great wonders, so that he maketh fire come down from heaven on the earth in the sight of men, which was those bombs, the atom bomb, and deceiveth them that dwell on the earth by the means of those miracles which he had power to do in the sight of the beast. So them nations was wondering, and they started to wonder after this Edomite, saying to them that dwell on the earth that they should make an image, which the image goes into the system. They should make a system. You heard what he said. He said, look, they needed to get a voting system. So they were setting up their democracy over there. And they come in with this religion also. They bring their Christianity with them, which is part of the system. No, Islam is part of the system too, because that came out of the Roman Catholic Church as well. So they got power. The nation's vibration, has been dumbed down at this time so that Esau can get away with his rulership on planet Earth. So he can come in and invade these people and do miracles to the point that they look at this man as a god, saying to them that dwell on the earth that they should make an image to the beast, which had the wound by the sword and did live. That's Rome coming back. And he had power to give life to the image of the beast. That's the image of the system. And that beast system goes back to Rome. That's the first dragon. That's the first beast, the Roman system. And everything that America touching, they mimic at least about 90% of the Roman Empire. And the rest of the world is following it too, because they down with the system. It says, should both speak and cause that as many as would not worship the image of the beast should be killed. And that's on its way. And that's going into the mark of the beast. So as you can see, they were behind that whole voting system. And that's how they got their elections is coming up now. And they talking about how the booths are going to be rigged. What that make you think about the elections that we about to have? But they about to have elections too. So that's that same image. So Esau, your hands, your fingerprints, you're all on the damn evidence, man.
Basically bribed all these leaders to decide that their areas were going to be part of India against the population who is mostly Muslim, and they wanted to be, it seems like they wanted to be part of Pakistan. So Pakistan, when this went down and India got all of Kashmir area, Pakistan was like, that's intolerable. One, because that's right up against our capital. Islamabad's right on the border with Kashmir. So that would mean India would be like just miles away from, or kilometers away from their capital and with their troops, and that they felt very threatened by that. So Pakistan immediately launched a invasion, if you look at it from India's side, invasion of Kashmir, and took about half of Kashmir. This whole area is Muslim-dominated population-wise, but the Indian army then stopped them basically where the DMZ is now, or the line of actual control is what it's called, the LOC. So basically, they've basically allowed the fighting to stop, but they've had some spats where they started shooting at each other again with artillery. They've done cross-border raids. Basically, India is almost in a state of war with Pakistan. So India, looking across the border and seeing this change of power, seeing army units that are losing allegiance to their government, I think a lot of people in India are starting to ask the question, who's in control of these nuclear weapons? Mm-hmm. Because that's a very serious threat. Now, when there's chaos in Pakistan, that's kind of good for India in the sense that they're not going to be launching attacks on India. But on the other hand, who has control of these nuclear weapons? What happens if somebody gets their hands on one of these nuclear missiles or multiples of these and decides to launch a preemptive strike against India for various reasons? And military commanders may have various reasons for this. Political people may have various reasons for this. A desperate government trying to retain control of Pakistan may try to provoke a war, sort of like what Biden's doing. Desperate people, lame duck politicians may choose to try to start a war in order to unify their people. And
so you got
under
war
their leadership
everywhere. And you know, you damn Edomites, man. You got your hands in everything. That's what the CIA has been set up for, man. They got other groups out here, too, they'll never tell you about. You know, it's this movie. I think it's called Escape. I think that's the name of the movie. Where they show you, they go in. They got all kind of movies where they show you the CIA going in, you know, starting the confusion, you know, causing these coups, these uproars, so they can come in and take the resources, seize the water. You know, because I know in this particular movie, Escape, they was fighting over clean water. You're going to find out those embassies over there, American embassies, they was running the whole show. They was the ones starting, you know, one side, the North against the South. It was always the North against the South. You know, and you devils are behind it. So, but all this is leading to the final war. But I did look this up here. Let me see something. This is some information. It says, are there gun factories in India and Pakistan? Yes. Yes, there are gun factories in India and Pakistan. And who do you think showed them, you know, how to master making gunpowder and the scientists to put together the Rugers, you know what I'm saying? Those specialized, you know, fully automatics, man. And showed them about switches and, you know, all these M1s and M2s and Uzi. Come on. That's your sword, E. Now all the nations got a hand in that sword. It says including factories that produce military weapons and other gunsmiths. And Esau, you the main smith, man. So, yeah, I was just looking at this. This is one family here. Hold on. Yeah, it says the gun industry in Kashmir has been declining in recent years due to violence in the region and strict gun laws. So they trying to get them out. But, you know, this is you devils. This is the Smith right here. Let's check this out. Look at the Smith. You know, it's you devils. Let me see something.
Building these bespoke firearms here in Indian-controlled Kashmir since the 1950s. There used to be dozens of gunsmiths like them in the region's summer capital, Srinagar. This neighborhood is even named after the historic industry. But decades of political unrest and tight restrictions on gun ownership have shuttered all but 2 of the family businesses in the capital. India has some of the world's strictest gun laws, and in Kashmir, government red tape ensures that almost no one here can buy one. Most Kashmiris, including the Zarus, are Muslim, but India is currently controlled by a Hindu nationalist party. It says limiting access to weapons in this region will prevent an uprising. So we went to Kashmir to see how one of the last traditional gun factories is still standing.
Yeah, we ain't got to get into it, but you see,
Nazir Ahmad.
this you Edomites. This your blessing. You was blessed with the sword. You know? And these people are following in the image. You know, they want to get down, total control. You know, the nations was drunk not just off your sins and abominations, your way of life, living, eating, you know, marrying, but even your guns. This is Revelations 17:1 NLT. One of the 7 angels who had poured out the 7 bowls came over and spoke to me. Come with me, he said, and I will show you the judgment that is going to come on the great prostitute who rules over many waters. The waters represent the people. The prostitute represents America. The kings, these other nations like Pakistan and India, the kings of the world have committed adultery with her. So they all lay down. You know, when you lay down with dogs, you come up with fleas. And the people who belong to this world have been made drunken by the wine of her immorality. You know, and that's what's happening. You see, they try to have them strict gun laws, but hey, you can't, once you in bed with this beast, man, you know, you done took money from her. You know, when they say, look, we need you, we got to put you on Front Street, that's what they doing. Immorality is the violation of moral laws, right? Norms or standards. It refers to an agent doing or thinking something they know or believe to be wrong. Immorality is normally applied to a people or actions, or in a broader sense, it can be applied to groups or corporate bodies and works of art. And we know all the corporations coming out of America, they all deal with immorality, man. You know, the sorcery. So you see it. So will they make this a big issue? You know, after Thanksgiving, you know, we got our eyes on it. But they talking nuclear war. They got the nuclear bombs. That's why this is a big deal. They've always been fighting. You know, the Lord of War, it's got his hand there. But once they start talking about nuclear war, you know, something bigger is behind the scene. And, you know, these are proxy, you know, countries here, too. So they're going to have to get busy, you know, once the bear, which is Russia and America, you know, stand up, all the allies got to fall in position. What makes it a complete World War III, giving all the praise, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Rakah HaKodash. Double honor to the elders of Great Millstone who taught me this truth. Shalom.